Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here today with Mathias from Oceans. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. It's like, yeah, home doing nothing, you know.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule of doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
To talk to me about the new record from Oceans, Cosmic World Mother. But the first question I have is, how did you get involved with the rebirth of the band?
Well, I've known the guys like for 20 plus years. The two guitar players had in the end of the 90s. We're from the same small city, so we sort of have the like same friends. So we were in the same groups, and yeah, I think I was like when they released the third album, I Am God. I heard I was at Timo's place actually. We had some like home party at that point, and we listened to the master of it, and yeah, since then, since those days, I've been friends with them. So yeah, it wasn't really, it was like a no-brainer, because I had a band with Timo, the guitar player, as well, that's called Magenta Harvest. That was like sort of a continuation of Ocean and taking it more like to a death metal kind of area, and yeah, so. I was pretty sure if something's gonna happen with the singer that they're gonna contact me. So yeah.
So it was a good fit for you.
Yeah, definitely. I like their music also, and yeah, been following them since the 90s. So yeah, and it's nice to be out with friends again. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, 17, 18 years since they released an album.
Yeah.
So almost a lifetime ago. It feels like. Why do you feel like now was the right time for Oceans to put a new album out?
Well, as I hadn't joined the band yet, but I followed them like in sidelines as well when they did the rebirth of the band. So yeah, they were like for many years actually we were discussing about it, to come back, and it really didn't feel right at some points, and they didn't have the right inspiration for it. They had trying to like going practicing and doing stuff like that, but now it's like in 2017 they had rehearsals with the other band Festiday, and at some point they discussed about like bringing Oceans back as well, and yeah, it felt right, they said, and it was really fun to play the songs again. And they actually had also the first drummer that did in like the mid 90s played with them. So yeah,
it's kind of like a party. Everybody's getting back together. The time was right. The stars were aligned.
Exactly.
And everybody just felt like it was the right time and the right place for a new record. The world needed a new Oceans record.
Yeah, definitely. And as Timo, the guitar player, said that he hadn't had the inspiration to make any music that would actually be worthy of Oceans. So now he actually made some riffs, and it was pretty easy, and it seemed like it was just flowing, the inspiration. So yeah.
How did you guys approach the creative process behind this album? I mean, it's been a long time from the band being away from the studio, putting an album together. You come into the picture. Did you come in when the record was already kind of being together?
Yeah, it was sort of like 85-90% done when I joined. There was like some minor like tweaks, mostly like cosmetic stuff, like changing drum beats a little bit or something like that. But the riffs were there, and yeah. So I came in the end of the process, sort of like a good month before the studio started. But from the beginning how they started, it was like the guitar players made riffs, and actually for 2 songs as well, the keyboard player did some riffs, and they just like posted them they put them in their like Dropbox, and everybody was like playing around with them, and then they went to rehearse them and put them together as a band, the songs, and then we sort of recorded them like as demos separately in our because half the band is from south of Finland and half is from the like northwest, so yeah, there's a bit of a gap between. So we were just like everybody was like putting their parts at home on the existing demos, and that's how we pieced it together.
You gotta love Finland. Everybody almost has a home studio.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's lucky because, for example, I'm a sound engineer when I don't play music. So yeah, so it's really easy for me to like set up these kind of stations for the guys and stuff like that.
The album, in my opinion, really merges a little bit of the old band with the new band. So there's that old symphonic black metal sound.
Yeah.
There's still some industrial undertones to the record, merging these two worlds together. Do you find that as a fair assessment of the sound of the record?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, and it was sort of the direction we wanted to have as well. It was like to sort of continue from where the first two albums left off, but of course to have a little bit of the Endocian sound and the latter albums there as well. But for some reason it doesn't feel like that industrial metal right now. There's sort of kind of done. It's like it's really a sort of I think lots of these like industrial metal bands really haven't survived that well. So it was actually sort of a focus, like a main goal to focus on the elder stuff and do some like 90s kind of symphonic atmospheric black metal again.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those genres in metal that does not age very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I felt that there was some undertones, but when you look at the body of work of the record, it really pulls back into the earlier albums of the band. It has that more raw sound. It's that more black metal sound with those symphonic atmospheric elements that really condition the fluidity of the album.
Yeah, exactly. that was the thing as well. Well, we updated, the keyboard sounds, for example. They're a little bit more modern now. They're not like, back in the days it was just like, per riff there was like one sound. You had like a choir sound, or you had a string sound, or you had, like a piano sound or something, and you had nothing else. Now there's like more layers, of course, but but the melodies and the style of the riffs go like further back, and yeah.
I agree with you. Actually, that was going to be my next question. Is that when I was listening to the album, I felt that the symphonic elements of the album were more than just melody. They created this ability for the tracks to flow from one to the other. It's almost like the symphonic elements became this wind breeze that moves in from track to track, weaving itself in and out of the tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that the goal that you guys had? Not just put like keyboards for the sake of putting keyboards and let's make
No. It's always been, I think that's been one of the main sort of, let's say, like main instruments in Endocians have always been the symphonic, the keyboards. And we were really, really focusing on actually to have that element. Of course, there's these guitar melodies and riffs and stuff like that, but there's a really, really big intentional focus on the keyboards as well.
The album, and that adds to the fluidity that the album had. I felt listening to the album, you guys did a magnificent job connecting the tracks together. It's not every single track, but some tracks where one track finishes, it picks up the start of the next song.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I was listening to the album, and sometimes I would have to go back to find out is this the beginning of a new one? Is the old one finished? Because you lose track of where you are in the record. There's this complete fluidity from the first song all the way through.
That was also intentional as well, because we really, when we had tracks, we had some of the tracks that that we sort of knew like how we wanted to have the album set up, like how the songs should be, and some of them we on purpose afterwards like put like keyboards or like noise or something that continued, so we could actually sort of weave them together with other songs. So it's there's
this feeling, there's the feeling of energy, right? To me, the record, there's this feeling of each song being a piece of energy that just flows from empty space, and it keeps flowing through. Does that also play in terms of the concept that you guys had for the record, to have that sense of energy and fluidity of energy?
Yeah, definitely. It was sort of, and to have this kind of like spacious kind of feel to it. Yeah, everything was planned. And also when we had the intro that actually, or like the mid intro that really like breaks up the album, and then
I was going to ask you about that, because I thought, for me, that seemed a little strange. It worked, but it's like, wow, like if you're listening to a vinyl, it makes sense because you can break the vinyl into two and then have that as the intro for part B. But when you're listening on MP3s and you're just listening to everything in sequence, it seemed a little strange that you guys went with that instrumental like piece there in the middle. How does that fit into the whole picture? You just wanted to have like a break, or?
Yeah, that's actually because the whole album is like, it's really fast and it's like full of information all the time. So we really wanted to have this like, like breather there towards the end, especially when you listen to it like on, let's say you put it on Spotify or CD or something. You're not gonna have the break when you turn the side or something like that. So you actually need a little bit of a breather to like sort of lighten up, from the fast like double pedals and blast beats that is really like going on through the whole album.
Yeah, the album is very powerful from that perspective. You almost feel like you're running out of breath because it doesn't really allow you to just regain some momentum. There's a fast moving aspect to it. It's heavy, and there's this continuation to it, like we talked about in terms of the tracks being connected. Do you feel like this album, it's going to be one album that's going to resonate with the fans of the band, the fans that grew up listening to End Oceans?
Well, there's always going to be haters.
I love how you start that answer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, as I've seen before, like for the 3 first songs, it's actually been really good feedback, and also sort of the first reviews I've seen have been really good. So yeah, but there's always these puritans that warn you, it's too much because it's like new singer and it's like different sound, and we should have continued the industrial thing and blah blah blah. So yeah, there's always gonna be those, but I think for for the people that really liked the beginning, this is definitely gonna work. And also seems like we got a lot of new people in there that really like the new stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be
I think we have to realize that not everybody's always going to be happy.
No.
You're going to have the people who are going to hate it because it doesn't sound like the last record, and then you're going to have the people who are going to hate it because it doesn't sound enough like the earlier records. It's always a no-win situation when it comes to that kind of stuff. To me, the album is really well crafted, really well put together, and the final cherry on top, if you will, is your vocals. I really felt that the vocals added so much presence, so much volume, so much texture to the songs. Not only you're adding to the sound, but you also adding to the lyrics, to the content of the lyrics on each song. Did you do anything differently going into the studio as far as your vocals are concerned? Did you have anything in mind that you want to attack the vocals in a certain way?
Well, yeah, it's like I have to say, like, first off, I think I never put this like much energy into an album before, and I was really thinking, like, am I gonna, because I knew there was gonna be people that's gonna be like, because there's a change of singer, and the former singer, he was like a big character and like big like persona in the band. So I had like big boots to fill. So I really wanted to, really go in there and do something really different and like something really massive. And and I had these weird ideas that I never have actually had space to try before, because all my other bands have been maybe not that experimental, let's say like that. Well, Fintroll is pretty experimental, if you say like that.
But Fintroll has its own DNA.
Yeah. So I had this little bit different kind of ideas that I really wanted to try out, and and some of them are on the album as well, and it turned out really well. So yeah, lots of thought went into the vocals.
Yeah, it came across that the vocals were not just you show up into the studio and give me the lyrics and let me run through this. It felt to me that the vocals were just another instrument added to everything else that was happening.
Yeah, it's it's just a piece of a pie. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It comes across like that on the tracks. Was there a song that you felt gave you a little bit more trouble than perhaps the rest? Or do you have a favorite?
There were some parts, but I have to think which song it was. But well, actually, the first one, the Dissolution of Mind and Matter, actually had some elements that I was a little bit like going up and down with. That should I do it like this or should I do it like that? And because I have this like really clean, like I'm shouting some of the phrases in the verses are like shouted like with a clean voice, and I was not sure if it's gonna fit, and we had to sort of do a puzzle a little bit to get it to fit, but yeah, it turned out well in the end.
Yeah, no, and by the way, you guys, I don't know if it was your decision or not, but to do the first 3 songs of the album as the first 3 singles, I thought that was I thought that was a smart idea. I don't know whose idea that was, but it worked out really well.
Yeah, that's it's sort of a weird idea to do it, and we did it also, in the, we didn't throw the third song first or anything. We just like first song, second song, third. Yeah. Yeah, but it's sort of because the album it's got a couple of like different sounds to it. So those 3 songs sort of represent all like the 3 aspects of the album. So we wanted to put like 3 totally different songs, or totally different, but a little bit like different songs in the beginning of the album. So you would like immediately get all the different moods of the album. And then it just turned out that actually those 3 songs fit perfectly to make like singles for as well. So yeah, so we just decided on doing like first song, second song, third song.
Yeah, I thought from a fan's perspective, when you're listening to the album, it allows you to also get engaged with the album a lot quicker, because you already heard the singles. So the moment you pop the record on, the first 3 songs are already familiar to you. So by the time you get a little bit deeper into the record, you're not going to find anything really strange. Your ear is already going to be used to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was sort of the idea. And so like that's, and after the third song, the album sort of opens up a little bit, and as you said, you're used to all the different aspects of the album already. Of course, there's a little bit like some more like electronic stuff coming there halfway through the album, but yeah.
But I felt the electronic elements that you guys added to the record did not take away from the darkness that the album has.
No.
It felt to me there was more of an atmospheric element that added to the whole mood of the song, but it didn't really strip away, for lack of a better word, it didn't strip away the black metal of the album.
No, it didn't. No. That's a good thing. And yeah, even though, for example, the title track, Cosmic World Mother, it's got the in the middle of the song there's like this really like electronic part, and it's actually sort of quite a modern electronic, more going to this kind of synth wave, like retro wave kind of themes. And I think it's
I felt that some of those elements even had, and I'm probably completely wrong on this, but when I was listening to it, specifically on that song, it almost felt a little bit like psychedelic at times. Yeah,
it definitely has. And that's actually the keyboard player. He wrote the whole song, and he's like, yeah, it's his song. So he's got this like electronic projects as well that he only that's only like made with computers and keyboards and stuff like that. So you can really, that song, you can really hear it actually.
Yeah, and that song is perhaps one of the songs where you feel it, that it's more present. It has more of a predominant role, and like I said, it's almost like a little bit psychedelic. It makes you feel like you're traveling through space, which plays really well on the lyrics of the track.
Yeah,
everything came together on that song. So now you guys have the album coming out on May 8th, Season of Mist. You guys are all excited for this release, and the world hits you with coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, like, did you guys even consider pushing the release back because of what's happening, or it was never even in your plans? You just like,
okay, we just decided to go ahead with it because we have to get the album out, and it would be weird to push it a year longer. But I think it's also like, we have been discussing with other releases as well, that should we push them, but we have a date for the fans out there, so it would be like like showing your middle finger to the fans, just like pushing it 1 year just because you want to tour more or something like that. So yeah, I think it's really good when bands right now, when they actually stick to their plans, and yeah, because people need music right now. People need new stuff all the time.
100%.
So,
I mean, you guys yourselves are going through it. Being quarantined is not fun at all. So
exactly.
if we can have something to get our minds away from the disaster that this world has turned out to be, I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, but with you guys being divided now, what do you guys have in mind as far as your plan to promote the record? Because while you can go on a tour, it looks like the summer festival season is done. Everybody's canceling. Wacken got canceled. Everything is getting canceled or postponed. I shouldn't say canceled, postponed to next year. So what are you guys thinking that you could do during this time period in order to help promote the record?
Yeah, we actually really don't know, because it's like everything is like trial and error right now, because you've never been in this kind of situation before. And it really sucks, because we had like the first European tour in, I think it's like the guys, they were out in 2001, I think was the last tour they did. So they really, really wanted to get back on the road. And yeah, we had plans to go for like in Europe for a month in the end of the year, but everything is like done, and it's like moved at least half a year onwards. Yeah. But I think like we're trying, for example, right now to do as much of like interviews and like putting it out there. And we played around with, this kind of live stream things as well, but we don't really know if it's the right thing for the band yet, because the energy is like it's so fast, and so I'm not sure if it will translate to the sofa.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a difficult time, and it's a difficult way of approaching. You're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. You know what I mean? Like, you want to put the album out there, but at the same time, you're really struggling with how you can get the word out there. I mean, to me, the album, if anything, once you guys are able to go on the road, the excitement for people to go see you guys and finally hear the songs live, I think will drive a lot of people to come to the shows.
Yeah, like, time will tell, but yeah, I really hope right now, because there was actually this festival in Finland yesterday. They pushed like a new commercial about And Oceans playing there, and it's like end of June, Midsummer's Eve. We're playing here in Finland, and they haven't canceled yet, so we're really hopeful for that one. But it's like
has Tuska mentioned anything, or
no, they are still on. It's like Tuska is still there, and I think as well that we have like in August as well this festival in Tampere that is actually on as well right now. So I'm not sure how Finland is going to do it, but yeah.
Well, it's crazy, man. I honestly, I'm really bummed out, because I was gonna go. My son and I we had a trip planned for Summer Breeze, and we were super excited to see Fintroll at Summer Breeze. And
now, we were as well. One of my favorite festivals.
Yeah, we were so excited. We had everything booked, planned the trip. We were going to be there. We were going to be.
Did you have flights already and the tickets?
Well, I think for the first time ever, I purchased insurance for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So we were in Finland last year. We were in Tampere and Helsinki, and we went to Kotka for a little festival in Kotka. So we normally don't buy insurance. We just buy the tickets and we go.
Yeah.
This time around, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy insurance. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. So turns out good for me. I end up getting my money back, and was able to go in 2021. I'm just hoping that everything that gets moved to 2021, the same bands are able to stay on the bill, because we've never had the pleasure of seeing you guys live. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be the album release show. So yeah.
Wow.
It's released the same day. That'll give us.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah. So, but yeah, we still have the hopes up for the Finnish festivals, and then maybe we can do some like club gigs in the end of the year. But everything like in mainland Europe is gone.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I see what you're saying, and it's true. Yeah, mainland. I think touring throughout Europe is going to be difficult with borders and things like that being closed. But hey, I hope life gets back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Because I'm missing the sauna.
Yeah. But that is luckily, you know, we are still able to do that over here. So yeah, I have my own sauna on as well. So yeah.
So you're lucky. You're one of the lucky.
I'm good, but you know, it's boring to be home. Well, we're mixing the new Finchel album right now, so and I actually can mix it on distance. So yeah.
Are you guys still going to release it on the date that you had planned on releasing, or?
Yeah, we haven't pushed it anywhere yet. So yeah.
All right.
For August.
Well, another album to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. We'll talk again when Fintroll releases the new album. We'll talk about that album.
Yeah, let's do so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. Best of luck with the release on May 8th. The album is phenomenal. I really enjoyed the journey that you guys took me on. It's a really interesting album, really dynamic, really fluid. And to me, one of the most spectacular things about it is that I felt like I was traveling through the record with every single song. To me, that was one of the things that made me go back to the record over and over again.
Oh, that's cool to hear.
Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe.